Always remember, your focus determines your reality. Stay close to me, and you'll be safe.
What's going on, guys? How are we doing today? Hopefully you guys are all doing pretty well out there. Today's video, I want to talk about I'm not sure why I have this many, five different next level characters and ships that are gonna bring these teams, these really strong teams already in the game, but bring them to that next level of either counters or a defensive squad or whatever it may be, right? So let's get this going. Actually, let's start us off with some ships, because everybody loves ships, right? I say that as I say lots of times in my GAC streams, and I hate ships. I hate fleet. But let's go over ships first. There's actually a few of them, so I'm going to go over a couple that I think are pretty next level, but I'm going to go over the one that I feel like is the most next level in fleet right now. So, right now, Razor Crest. Next level, I would say, because, you know, he helps, you know, those Mace Windu fleets, the capital ships, or even with Thrawn. They make them that much better. You can counter a bit more different teams, especially if you have the other bounty hunters built up. So that's like really one quick, easy one. Razor Crest is pretty dang good. And then the next one I'll go over is the Gauntlet Starfighter. So if you guys want to set this on defense, this is a great ship to have in the starting three because of the cleanse. This one is an amazing cleanse. It dispels all debuffs on all allies, and they gain protection up. And then it's doubled if they are Empire for the protection up gain. So it's just crazy. And this is on a 3-turn cooldown, so it can happen a bit faster. But the only reason as to why this is not as high of priority, because you have to have him, what's his name, Gar Saxon, and you have to have what's his name again? Oh my gosh, I don't know these guys' names. Imperial Super Commando. You have to have these guys at a decent gear level, like gear 11, gear 12 plus. And guess what? They suck. So why even go for them when they suck? But it could be definitely a worthy investment, rather, if you're going to go for this ship, because this ship is pretty sexy. Although they're not as sexy, the ship is. So maybe you got to kind of, you know, think about that one before you go all in on that. But it's a good one. I mean, the cleanse is super huge. I've had a lot of struggles with that fleet before the Empire, and to keep things going with the Empire fleet. On that note, let's go over the next one, which is really my number one next level ship when it comes to fleet, and it's the B-28 Extinction class bomber. It's a lot of stuff to say there, but this guy's pretty dang good. And the reason I want to bring, and he's on this list for the ships, is because this guy, if you're going for the Emperor, you're already going to have him Relic 7, so why not just go for his ship too, so that way you get him all maxed out, all the juiciness, all the extra stats you want in a ship. Go for this guy. He's great. So this one, you can go different, a couple different routes. You can go with him being in the starting 3 lineup with, you know, a Vader, or with also the TIE Bomber. I think that's the right one there. And then having him as a third, that way you have 2 tanks, and then as a reinforcement, you can bring in that cleanse as a gauntlet, or maybe a TIE Fighter, or maybe the Emperor Shuttle. Lots of different ideas. But my favorite, actually, right now, is to use him as a reinforcement, so that way he comes in and he can get a taunt going. So this unique's pretty sexy. It says that the first time another Sith ally takes damage, and any time another Sith ally drops below 100% health, he gets a taunt. And then it says while he's taunting, he has more critical avoidance. So, and also on top of that, he can give out some more of those concussion mines, which are just like the thermal detonators, but for fleet and for ships. So, very durable. So, if you were to have, and let's just go with my stats right now. Mine's only 3-star. This guy is still very, very durable. 74,000 health and 55,000 protection. So, just imagine if this ship was 7-star, a lot more protection, a lot more health, much more tanky, and just you're very, very annoying in fleet. This guy knocks off banners. He makes it so even at times, if you have a fully relict Empire fleet, you can lose, even at times, with your negotiator, which has happened to me before. That could be me just sucking really bad at the video game or whatnot. I don't know, but definitely a good ship as of right now in the game. So, just a few different ones there. Now, let's swap over and talk about some characters, because characters are why you guys are all here, right? So, first things first, let's go skim down here to some Rogue One, because I think these guys are not talked about enough. This is more for the Mon Mothma teams right now in the game. These guys, Cassian, Mr. Cassian Andor, beautiful man, and also K2, these are the dynamic duo when it comes to Mon Mothma team. These guys bringing the whole Mon Mothma team and the Rebel fighters to a different level. They are great for the offense. They are great for the defense. So there is a couple different things you want to go for in this team. Yeah, you want to have this guy's K2's Zeta on his unique because you want to stack up the protection. But with relics, these guys are a monster. If you even have like Mon Mothma with a couple different, you know, Gear 12, maybe Gear 13, different, not Rogue One, but Rebel fighters, like, let's just go over to it for a second. We're talking like a Cara Dune, we're talking like the Hoth Rebel Scout, and then adding in those two for that Mon Mothma team, you're talking about a whole different team there. You know, without those two, you don't really have the extra control with the debuffs. You don't have the extra taunt, the extra tankiness, the extra durability with a K2, and you're missing out a lot more. Yeah, Cara Dune can provide that to a certain extent, but you're missing out a lot more with both of those guys being there. So just one thing about there, K2 and Cassian, I think they're very, very strong, very underlooked. I think they bring them to the next level. And then the next one I want to go over is going to be, let me just scroll back up because I kind of forgot. I'll have to look here for a sec. Let's go and talk about, yeah, here we go. Sith Assassin. I want to bring up Sith Assassin because this, if you have the Emperor team built up, the GL Emperor, this is one that you would want to have built up as well. Even though she's not a requirement, you want to build her up regardless because she is so dang good with the Emperor on defense. If you have her Gear 13, don't even need to have some high relics. You can just literally have her Gear 13 Relic 0, and you're done. You don't even need her more than that because it's just about the speed here. So it's definitely a very fast character, not the fastest in the game, right? But if you can get her, you know, decently fast, I would say, because you get some speed with the Emperor's lead, maybe getting her like 320, 330 speed. She goes first. She goes and uses this special, which gives out even more turn meter to the Sith, and then it starts the whole entire train. So just think about it this way. Troopers are a very, very hard counter to the Emperor team right now in the game, right? But just imagine if you have this character, you know, Gear 12, Gear 13. Maybe you can pull off that speed with Gear 12, then go for it. But imagine if you have this guy or this chick, because she's a female. I'm sorry. But imagine that she is that fast. She goes first before a Stark, before a Piet, before even a Moff Gideon. And you get out the buffs, you get the TM going, and then you are just golden. It makes it so much easier for stopping those counters. This is more of a defensive-based character for this list, but definitely it brings that whole defense to a different and next level. I think it's a great one. That way, it even saves you from using a Darth Revan for that team on defense, and even a Malak, because that right there just provides a lot more off the bat, you know, availability for specials on your team to use before they even go. And that's just what you want in a team right there. So Sith Assassin, very, very good. Next up is kind of the counterparts to that, which is Dark Trooper. So Dark Trooper is usually on this list for the offensive capabilities, and I think he's great. You know, right now he's a bit harder to farm. He just kind of came out to the node. I think it's on a pretty easy node, right? Light side, there it is, right? 1C, it's only like 60 energy for doing 5 attempts, which I would recommend doing right now, even if you're going for Bo-Katan, because this guy's great. But anyways, this guy right now, if you can build him up, he can actually counter and allow the troopers to counter even more so than they have in the past. We're talking even easier counters to like a Darth Revan, even easier counters to the Emperor, but especially, it even opens up, actually, counters to other GLs. I want to say it can counter Kylo's, like very, very certain they can counter Kylo's, but also I want to say it can even counter some Reys at times, depending on the different team comp and the way you mod the team and all that sort of stuff. But definitely can achieve more counters for you on the GAC type of a game mode rather, or even TW. It's a great, great character to have. His offense is through the roof. It's actually one of the top 10 Relic 8s I would recommend to somebody if you're going for Relic 8s, because it can just do so many things for you. So Dark Trooper is amazing. And now I think about it, I have a whole list here, so let's go off this list. So we talked about that. We already talked about Sith Assassin, Cassian, K2, Dark Trooper, and then last but not least, guys. Last but not least, let's talk about, I gotta get up in this chair because I get so hyped about this man. I know, this guy is hard to get, but he brings those guys to a different level. Next level, Kiarimundi, Mr. Forehead himself, the Forehead, the one and only Mr. Cam. So he's hard to get, I know. You know, having to do all those light side TBs over and over again, having to get those shards, it's hard. It's tough, I know. Not many people even have him 7-star yet, but I'm just saying this right now. He is next freaking level, guys. He is disgustingly good. So the reason why he's so next level is because he has those two different tags, the light side, the Jedi tag, and also, I'm not sure why I said light side Jedi. He's got Jedi tag and he's got the Galactic Republic tag. So that means JKR teams. We're talking Master Luke teams. We're talking even Jedi Knight Luke teams. And then we're talking Padme teams. And then also, next, you know, maybe down the line here soon, we get some reworks of these really crappy GR Jedi. And then maybe, boom, he's even that much better with those guys. So just think about that for a second. The possibilities are endless, really, for him. He's so dang good. My favorite spot to use him right now is for offense with my Master Luke. Can counter both Reys, Kylos, mirror matches, sometimes even Emperors if I time it right with my modding. He's so hot. He's beautiful. You guys know how much I love this guy. So on some of these specials, you can have both different forms, but really, you only want to stay in the Arturo form because of the extra offense and the double tap on his basic. I want to say it's right here. Yep, he has a move on his Arturo lunge that deals armor shred, and this can do some massive amounts of damage. If you guys have seen any of my streams before in GAC, I hit for like 300k plus on a GL. It just hits so hard. Yeah, I know mine is relic 8, but you can still get those numbers with relics in general. 7-star without relics, probably not going to cut it. You got to have those relics for the extra damage. But this guy, he can counter a lot more stuff and make it even easier. My favorite thing as to why I use him right now is that it saves my General Anakin Skywalker for a different team on defense. So that way I can use him with that team on offense and save a very, very strong team for the defense. That's my favorite use for him right now. And even at times I can use him to sometimes even 3v3 because I know 3v3 is coming up. I can underman things. I can use him with like a 2v3 with a Jedi Knight Luke and then himself, and then 2v3 some really strong teams in the game. So pretty much with him, he can just allow you to get easier counters, make it a bit more clean, and also more importantly to save more important teams for defense while you can use him for the offense. So I think that's about it for today's list. You know, we went over some of these different guys. I kind of combined Cassian and K2 for one. That's why I want to bring up some Fleet as well, because Fleet's very important as well in the game. But you know what? I think that's about it, guys. Do you guys agree with this list? Would you guys add any others to this? I'm sure I could think of a bit more, but these are like the 5, or rather 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't even know how many I went over today, that I think are very next level characters and fleet ships in the game right now. I think they're great ones to have. Not even going over the Zetas, just going over them as themselves. These guys can accomplish a lot for you in GAC, in TWs, in just squad arena, fleet arena as is. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys have any of those that you would recommend for these other next level characters, let me know down below in the comments. And if you guys have any other ideas for videos as well, let me know down below in the comments. That's it for me today, guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, give it a like, share it around, and sub if you guys have not yet. Peace out, and see you later. Bye, guys.